I wanted to take a minute to talk to you about the City of Boulder's detached market for January of 2021. This has been a really interesting year, as you all knew, going into 2021. And the biggest changes have just been the lack of inventory on the marketplace. So Boulder is fairly well insulated from most of these kind of things because price points are elevated. We have, usually have a decent amount of inventory on the market, but buyer demand has been an all-time high, and we've seen a lot of money coming in from outside. January over January, year over year, from 21 to 22, or 2020 to 2021, we've actually seen 41% decrease in active inventory as far as detached is concerned, and we have peaked at a $1.56 million average sales price. Now, a lot of that is due to composition of sales, which we'll take a look at here in a second, but it is very important to understand just how high buyer demand is. And partially that's because money is pretty cheap right now, right? Interest rates are fairly low. But under contracts just in the last month have risen by 40%, and we are off to the races for 2021. If you take a look at the average sales price of a detached single family home, this is part of the reason that some of these numbers may not make a ton of sense, but a year over year change of 27% results in a bunch of different things, right? The composition of sales has changed. The luxury market is booming in Boulder County, which relates a lot of that. And part of the other change here is just the fact that detached housing has taken a big bump, especially during COVID, and the fact that people need more space. So we're starting to see a bunch of different things happen. But as always, Boulder County market is off to the races and leading the charge as far as dollar amount and price appreciation for the county. Now, if we look over at this, you can see that, units sold is actually pretty similar to where we were last year. And the reason that we're only at 43 units sold in the city of Boulder and detached is just that there's not enough inventory coming on the market that's move-in ready. The amount of buyer demand is much higher than this, but we are limited by the low amount of active listings. Being that active inventory was down 40%, the fact that we are meeting where we were last year is actually a really promising thing. Plus, we won't have a shutdown in May, hopefully. So I think that makes a big difference according to last year, and this should be really promising for the market going forward. The other thing that's worth talking about is just the supply of inventory on the market. So the detached single family homes are down to 1 month of inventory, and normally a balanced market is somewhere between 4 and 6 months of inventory. So we were getting there, we've gotten up to that point, not much recently, but we were getting back to a more balanced market, and COVID happens and people's, needs and everything change. So that really has shifted the market again into this incredible seller's market. And if you're a seller right now, you're getting way more money for your home than you would have ever expected this time last year, just due to the fact that people's needs have changed and interest rates are so low. The last thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is days on market, and days on market is a measure of buyer demand. And January, every single year, is the highest amount of days on market we're going to see. So expect the spring buying season and into the summer to have really, really low days on market. And what this means is if you want to buy a home in the Boulder County market, you really have to, be swift, be decisive. And if you're going to go see something, you really need to go look at it right when it comes on the marketplace. So that's kind of what we've seen in Boulder County and in the city of Boulder. But the city of Boulder, like I said, is just a much different example. It's a different beast because the price points are so high. But even with all of that being said, there is just an amazing amount of demand coming out of Boulder and the city. Thank you so much. And this is Anthony with Land Title, and I look forward to talking to you next time.